college football playoff field. And we're not going to look too deeply at this. We're not going to overthink it. But here's where we stand when all the dust settles. At number 1, you probably guessed it, we got Georgia. I think they're undefeated. We know what it is with them. We know what it is. The schedule isn't ridiculous. They're going to be fresh when it comes to November, that second to last game of the year. They're going to be ready to roll. I think they go undefeated. I think they're your number 1 team in the country when it comes time for Selection Sunday. At number 2, kind of same song, second verse. We know what it is, man. We know what it is with Michigan. If they're able to be a little bit more balanced offensively, I mean, say your prayers for the Big Ten, man. Like, legitimately, you know what it is when they have that run game going. But if J.J. McCarthy gets dialed in consistently deep, that means those weapons stepped up in a big way. Like, this is also a team with how much they bring back production-wise that knows how to win. We said it before, I'll say it again. The talent is a big deal to bring back, but the leadership and the experience, the continuity, they've all got one mission. That is national title or bust. So Michigan makes the college football playoff. They're your number 2 team. They're the Big Ten champ. Now at number 3, they may have a loss on the schedule, but they win their conference, and it's the USC Trojans at number 3. They probably have the most buzz around them right now in fall camp when it comes to like being a polarizing team and what Caleb Williams will do or what they won't do, and Lincoln Riley can't win the big one. Like, I think they hear all that, but what they did through the portal and the edge they're going to have and the way they're going to be more balanced from the offense to defensive side of the football, I said it before, I think that they now have a defense that is going to allow Caleb Williams to go from being the equalizer, the guy that keeps you in games, to being the edge that allows you to win the games. He did a lot of that last year, but I think there's a little bit more balance, a little bit more help for him. Again, they're laser focused. I think USC is that 3rd team in the college football playoff. So a lot of y'all, when I asked you on Twitter, you had these 3 teams down. It was some variation, but a lot of y'all had these 3 teams down. So either we're all going to kind of look a little bit silly together when it comes to Selection Sunday, or we're all going to be right together. But there was a large variance on this 4th team. I think Alabama doesn't win the SEC, but I think they find a way into the college football playoff. They're going to surprise a lot of people because everyone is talking about Saban being passed by. Who's playing quarterback? Are they going to be able to be consistent? A lot of question marks. That's totally fair. But this roster, again, I said it, enormously, enormously talented. Only top 2 classes for Nick Saban. That's it. And I'm going to be real too. I'm not falling for Nick Saban and Alabama playing possum. Everybody wants to say they're down, they're dead. Like, hey. We've seen this a few times. 2008, multiple losses for Saban and company. 2009, natty. 2010, lost 3 games. 2011, natty. 2014, first year of the college football playoff. That's what it was. Okay, now finally has to go another game. Can't just rely on the BCS. Saban's done, man. Yeah, you guessed it. Next year, natty. 2019, 2 losses. 2020, national title. I'm not falling for it. We're buying the dip. Alabama is your 4th team in the college football playoff. So how does it shake out when we get to it? Well, you got Bama and Georgia with a rematch of the SEC title game. Again, I think it's very difficult to beat a team twice, but I think if someone's going to do it, Kirby's going to be ready for this one. I think the offense of Georgia changes the tempo of this game yet again, and I think they're able to beat Alabama. They punch their ticket to the national title game. This game will be a lot of fun. Traditional kind of Rose Bowl feel to this. Hopefully, you got Michigan versus USC, Big Ten, Pac-12 last time. They'll be conference foes here pretty soon. Instant classic, all right? Back and forth, shootout, Caleb Williams, crowds going crazy, a lot of points being scored. At the end of the day, though, I think the Michigan offense evolving and their defense still being as experienced as they are, I think that makes the difference. Again, instant classic, close game. Michigan punches their ticket to the national title game. And this was the game that we all wanted to get last year. And I'm not saying this in the sense that like, oh man, we're so bummed we got TCU, Georgia. Like a lot of people throughout the year were watching Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 1, Michigan 3, especially after they beat Ohio State. We were all saying, okay, heavyweight bout coming right up, Michigan, Georgia, here we go. We're all ready for it. And then TCU does what TCU did. And credit TCU for that last year. Nothing to take away from them. But we get it this year. We get Michigan and Georgia, 2 of the best line of scrimmage teams in the country, 2 of the most experienced teams in the country. I think this one is also close. I think this is a college football playoff that we look at and say, man, those were 3 really, really freaking good games. There's not a snoozer like we had in the national title game. When it's all said and done, though, I think Georgia has something that Michigan may not have quite as much of, and that is team speed. And they have it defensively, but also they have it offensively, and I think they will stretch the field a fair amount in addition to pounding the rock with that experienced offensive line. The team speed of Georgia is the difference. They beat Michigan. I think it's probably still fairly close in that game, but Georgia goes 3 in a row under Kirby Smart and wins the national title in 2023. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.